Hello, everybody. How is everybody tonight? Mike Martin here. You can see we've got quite a few in the room already. You got here before me. Cool. Right, I'll warn you all a little bit before tonight, guys. I can see the room still filling up, but I'll give you a pre-warning. If I sound really chesty tonight, it's because my missus has been super poorly, so my throat might be a little bit bad, but I've got a good webinar for tonight, really, really good webinar. If you guys don't mind me doing it, I was going to change things a little bit. Hey, Scott, you all right, pal? Johnny, you all right? You always put Buenvina on all your webinars, and I can never pronounce it. If anybody hears me scream, I don't know if you've seen my Facebook thing. It sounds like a woman screaming. It's because I've found a little lizard running around my office, and I've let him stay. So if he jumps on me or anything, I'm more scared of picking him up. But I think if he eats the spiders, so you all right, Mike? Can a few of you just let me know as well that you can hear me okay? Is this sound okay? Because I'm actually on a laptop tonight. I normally do this on the bigger PC, but I'm going to do it on the laptop. Stick a couple of ones or X's. You all right, Dan? Awesome. Cool. You all right, Anna? JW. Oh, we've got quite a few in tonight. Steve, Chris, Tim, Pete. Awesome. Yeah, I can see the room is starting to fill up, guys. Right, I wanted to do a quick change to tonight's webinar. Now, the reason I wanted to do it is I've basically been hit today with a load of statistics. Now, I'm not going to show you all the statistics because it's a load of boring crap, but I've been hit today with a load of statistics. My guys in Bulgaria do loads and loads and loads and loads of testing, and they play around and do loads of mad stuff. So I had a presentation for tonight, which was going to go through, and then I was going to obviously show you how to a full walkthrough with MPP, following all the stats that's come back. Johnny, I need to slow down for you guys down south, don't I, mate? Basically, what it is we've had a load of stats back, and we've been seeing it for a while. We've seen it for a long time anyway, with pre all the changes in 2019. In fact, I'll put it on the screen to make sure you can see what I'm doing, because I've scrapped today's, so I'm going to put a pencil board up. So, can everybody read what I've just put on the screen? Go faster. Right, no, you would have just seen a black screen a minute ago, Anna. It should be white now and just have some writing on it. Can everyone read what I've put on the screen, though? I just want to make sure that people can see this. Cool. MPP, all right, cool, nice one, guys. The reason I'm asking is I've thrown today's presentation away. I was going to ask you guys if you mind me doing it's going to be a build of how I'm building the sites at the minute. And what I want to do is I want to go through from start to finish and build what I would class the top level site that I would do, how I would do it for a national campaign. So we could call it Bank and Rent, or we could call it Niche Domination Strategy, but spelled right. Basically, this is what, I don't know if you can read that, actually. I have to get off it first. This is what's working for us at the minute. And what's working for us is, as you all know, there's a lot of new guys on here tonight. So I'm going to do a Q&A at the end, and I'll go through everything that you want as well. I'm not just going to do this, but there's no point me going through a walkthrough, and we've got a walkthrough still from November, which is not that much outdated, on webinars.net. And if people are still building the site similar to the way that they've been building them previously, they're not going to rank. They're going to get de-indexed. You're going to have shitloads of problems, basically. And what I've been telling you for years is still working. Sorry. And the way I'm doing it, the whole strategy. So I'm going to start off by building a website for you guys, first of all, from start to finish. And then once the website's finished, that should probably take about half an hour, 40 minutes. Once the website's finished, I'm then going to show you exactly how my backlinking structure works, so that you will understand completely how to use your backlinking system, what you've already got access to, so that you can create like you can take over a full niche pretty much is basically what I'm trying to say. And if you want to use it for rank and rent, I'll also show you how you do that using the overlay system that we've got. So that's what I was going to do, guys. Is everybody happy with me doing that? Stick me a 1 or an X in the box just so I know you're happy with it. And if you are, I'll run down that route. Otherwise, I'll do a basic standard walkthrough with all of the features included. Totally up to you guys. No, Tim, not with one of Tony's themes. I wish it was, mate. They're not ready, the Elementor ones. It would have knocked 10, 15 minutes off the presentation and it would have looked 50 times better. Right, I can see people putting loads of ones, X's, pluses. Right, cool. So, no, unfortunately, Tim, sorry, mate. I'm going to have to do it with one of my... I'm just going to build the site, mate, using Elementor. That's it. I'm going to whip through. It takes... what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to build a site. I've got the content already, so the rest of it's pretty easy, pretty simple. I'm going to run through it. I'm going to show you how I'm structuring my content, how I'm putting my content together, how you don't have to create perfect websites, but the content needs to all be structured around the main basic, the proper keywords, so to speak. So I'm just going to shut up now, guys. I can see the room's pretty full, and I'm going to, I don't know how to turn this thing off. Right, that's gone. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, if you just let me know when you can see the Auto Locksmith. I'm just going to shrink that down a little bit so I can see your comments. Right, if you just let me know when you can see it. As you can see, it's a super basic site. I'm going to hit it from the start up. Right, cool. I'm going to jump on. Right, first I'm just going to quickly go through the site structure for the new guys that's on tonight. Yeah, this is going to be an Auto Locksmith site. I'm actually going to create this site for myself. When I get around to doing the linking structure and everything else, I'm not sure. I've had this domain a while and I've pulled it down. There's probably about 300 or 400 pages still indexed on this site, and I'll show you as well how to deal with that really, really quickly, really, really easily, thinking about it. Right, Mike's asking about them themes are themes, mate. They're local business themes. They're not meant to have loads and loads of content. Obviously, you're going to put your own content if you think it with a business. But I'll show you tonight how I hide content in the page using Elementor. Elementor is by far my favorite builder, by far. Okay, guys, so I'm inside, and if I'll show you straight away, there'll be no posts. I'll have deleted that. There should be one page. Yep, draft privacy policy. I've got Elementor in. I'll show you what I've got installed. Plugins. That's it. Elementor Pro, and Magic Page. You don't need Elementor Pro, I don't think. I'm not 100% sure about whether the thing I use for hiding the content works. You should have to check that. And then themes. I always use GeneratePress. I always use a base theme of GeneratePress simply because it creates different schema sections throughout the site, and it's the cleanest and fastest one that I've found so far. If I find anything better, I'll let you guys know. I used to use one called, was it called Opt? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I use GeneratePress now anyway. And then just for the new guys on there, make sure your permalinks are set to post name. Your Magic Page plugin, when you install it, should already do that. But that's pretty much it, guys. So your site's going to look like this. It's going to be super basic. It's not going to look thingy. And then I'll show you now how quickly and easily it is to get it from that to a decent looking website. So we're going to create the homepage first. Okay, so I dive straight into the Elementor. The first thing I do is come down to the bottom here, and I click that, and I click Elementor Canvas. The first thing that's going to do is get rid of all that crap you could see on the page before. So literally now you've just got a blank canvas to work with. Okay, next thing I'll do is I'll go over to Elementor and I'll pick a theme. Any theme that can work with it. So that's going to work with what I'm currently doing. So you told you I've not got a script for this tonight. Just having a look to find an half decent looking one. I like the look of that one with a video and the look of that one there with a video. So let's insert the one with a video. Now, I'm not going to go putting too much content on the homepage because you're all about to fill out the homepage. But what I am going to specifically mention is when you're building evergreen websites. We all know that you've got location, county, region, and all that short codes inside of Magic Page plugin. And you can use them throughout the website. And the reason we've done that and enabled you to use them and the spin text throughout the whole website is simply because you can then create what we call evergreen websites. So I'm going to put this together tonight. I'm not going to go OTT with it all, but I'm going to put it together so you can see how I would use it as an evergreen website. When I clone it, take it down and put it back up, it will look, it will reset itself for different areas. I'm going to do a national site tonight. So it's going to start off, I'm just going to do the major cities, and you'll understand why when I show you the linking structure at the end. Okie dokie, I'm going to jump straight in and start putting some information on there. Okay, so what I do here is I put location auto locksmiths. I'm going to edit that. I'm going to put in anybody who doesn't know how to create a click to call. All you do is go into where the link is, type the word TEL, telephone number, put in a colon. You do that. Now, I'm using locksmith sites tonight because a lot of my locksmith sites have been getting spammed anyway, so I'm not really bothered if this site gets hit. But I'm going to show you completely how it all works properly. And I'd probably normally change this, make it look a bit prettier and everything else. Okay, we're going to put in a video. Okay, guys, this is one of the things I use down the bottom here. See this? Where you can hide all your content. I'm going to use that tonight for the actual MPP pages, which will take a little bit of time to set up and do because I've actually written the content. I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. We put an auto in there. Can everybody see that content going in? Because I've actually pre-written the content, so I'm not sat here all night doing it for you, because obviously it normally take about an hour to do. I'll just check this is the car unlocking locksmith. Yep. Cool. See all the yeses coming in there, guys. Sorry, I'm working and reading at the same time here, so I can get through this as quick as I can. And you understand how quick and easy something like this is to set up. Right, I want something for an emergency there. So what do I want for an emergency? I know. Let's put a clock in there. Why has that not worked? Oh, shit. 1 minute, guys. Okay, so we're pretty quickly into that. For this homepage, I don't necessarily need all of these because we don't really want, we're not too bothered about the homepage ranking as much as we are the internal pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go OTT with it in here. In fact, I need to keep this as a template for the next one though. I'll show you how to add this in a template in a minute. And then what we would put in here, so in fact, we can leave that in for now. I can delete it later. So what I would put in here is a text box, because what we're going to do is we're going to create links to our internal pages, our magic pages from here. And I'm not going to go in and do the about page and all the rest of them pages. Everybody knows you need an about page, you need a contact us page, you need a couple of different industry pages. I'm going to just create the home page and then I'm going to save it as a template. Right, so as you can see from up here, anybody that doesn't understand MPP at the minute, we can help. We can also help when you need auto, commercial, residential, right, when you need. Right, I'm not going to bother changing that, but normally it'd be when you have lost your car keys, need car keys repaired, vehicle unlocking, and so on and so forth in cities. So anybody who doesn't know that, that's automatically going to give us a list of the 10 closest cities to this location that we're currently on. Now, what I'm going to do fact, let me just change it for this. Okay, now we provide auto locksmiths in cities, and what we've done is we've put in the word count equals in brackets 100 and locations. When we install Magic Page in a minute, and location, so that's going to give us the central location, which is the location, the central location that we set, plus it's going to give us 100 closest locations. Now we don't mind that on the home page, because linking out to all your pages from the home page is not necessarily super bad. It doesn't cause too much of an issue. Internal side of things, and I'm not going to use this on the template, so I'm just going to go to delete there, because I'm going to actually put that inside of Magic Page in a minute. So we quickly update that, and then let's go and have a look at it. Okay, location auto locksmiths, click to call. I'd probably make that red or green or something and square the edges off. We've got a nice video there. This looks okay. Location, and this is going to pull in all the stuff in a minute. So next thing for me to do now is to go and activate Magic Page plugin. Like I said, we're going to do a national site tonight, and then I'm going to explain to you the linking structure of how to get a national website to rank nationally for all the major cities. So I'm only going to install the major cities, and then I'll show you the way that we would structure it and do it so that you can also get. Anyone wants to nick me API key, guys, it's a single site license, so it's not going to work. I think most people have got API keys anyway, but anyone watching the recording afterwards. Okie dokie. So anyone who UK, USA, Canada, and Australia, I think we've got major cities. Like I said to a lot of people, soon we're going to be having population databases, so you can decide whether you want to install locations with, say, more than 50,000 locations and stuff like that, so you won't need to do this, you'll be able to change it. But I'm just going to install the major locations today. You click that little button, apply, and for anyone who doesn't know, you see like there's only 6 locations now. See here, there's 4,148 in this area, but if we click here, it's just going to win. There will be a replay, Rick. If you're new to it, mate, as well, there's a website called Webinars. Let me put it in the comments for you. Spelled with a Z like that. Most of my replays are on there, so you can watch a lot of the replays. So as you can see, Wales has gone to 3. Watch a lot of the replays. You can also watch the walkthroughs and stuff like that. But if you're struggling with anything, give me a shout, mate, and I'll jump on Skype with you for half an hour as well and go through it with you. Where you can install other than the main. You can, mate, but I don't know if you've seen my previous video. I did a video, and the data that's come back today has basically proved it. We've been doing tests for a long time. A lot of people have been asking me that. They've been asking me for a long time to create more than one Magic Page per website, but we've been testing for about the last, I think Magic Page has been up for a couple of years now. For the last 2 years, we've always been trying to get rid of being able to do keyword times location. And what we're finding is the long content pages by far outrank the short content spammy pages. And we found it for the last 2 years. It's always been that way. Then in 2019 now, Google has started to de-index a lot of the spammy crap pages. And the reason it's doing it, or the reason the only reason we can see it's doing it, is Google has said that they're trying to obviously save on their indexing budget. That's their biggest expense. And if you've got 5 pages that are all covering one single low-hanging fruit keyword, and then you've got one page that's got all of the content incorporated into it, and it goes for the major keyword, it'll still rank for all them low-hanging fruit. But that one page is going to be getting 5 times the traffic that those other 5 pages are getting between them, because it's going after all the same keywords. And I'll show you how we set the page up in a minute. And what happens is, because it's getting more traffic, and because traffic has become so important in 2019, them pages are just outranking, and they're staying at the top for much, much longer, and the other ones are being dropped. And we've been testing this. We've actually got our own copies of MPP, which can create multiple pages, and we've not released them because it literally is killing sites. So a lot of the other mass page builders out there now are dropping and disappearing, and the sites have all been dropped simply because they've been building keyword times location, and it doesn't work anymore. It's just not working. And that's why I'm going to go through this tonight for you. Sorry, Mike, I know I'm waffling a bit, and so I don't want people building the wrong way, because as soon as you start building the wrong way, what you're going to find is your page is going to get de-indexed. Plus, I talked all the way through installing these major locations. One more area. So this is going to be about 120 pages. It's not going to be a big site, but this will be a national site. And then when I explain how you do the ranking structure and how you put them all together, you'll see why it dominates for your industry. Okie dokie. That's installed all the locations for us. So that's all the major cities in the UK. Let's change this to, what's this site? Streamlock. So let's call it Locksmith. Right, here, in case anybody doesn't know it, you can disable spin text for regular site pages, disable it for the whole website, or you can enable spin text altogether. For this one, I'm going to enable it, because later I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you how to create this as an evergreen. Right, yeah, Mike, you've got 181,000 locations in the US. But if you just put up a site with 181,000 locations, it's not going to rank. You need traffic to rank, so you have to build with a structure behind the whole process. But if you build correctly with a proper structure, what you'll find is the sites won't just rank, they'll rank long term. They're not just churn and burn sites, these. They're not the sort of sites where you're just going to throw up. Most mass page things say, oh yeah, if you do this, you do this, you do this, they'll go up and they'll last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then they'll be gone. These are not churn and burn sites. Using this strategy, you'd be able to actually dominate an industry for a long, long time with it, but you've got to do it correct from the outset. Okay, guys, so if you're using spin text, this enables you to rewrite your spin text. So every single week, your spin text on your normal pages, not just on your magic page, will rewrite themselves 10% and 10%. So literally once a week, it's going to rewrite 10%. I'd probably change that to about a month. In fact, I'd probably change it to more, but I'm not going to go with a lot of, I'm going to say 30%. Right, I'm going to click Save Settings. The other thing you can do, which I would recommend everybody does, is minify your footprint. Okay, now the reason you want to be minifying your footprint is because you don't want people to be able to tell you're using Magic Page, but you want to still be able to use it, and you also don't want people to be Google to know you're using a mass page builder on your site. So click on that little, let me go back, click on here, minify footprint, and this will hide it from everyone. So we could call this, let's call it auto locks. Locksmith. Okay, so let me do it, and then we save settings one last time. So we're pretty much ready now to start creating the MPP page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the pages, and I'm going to click Edit with Elementor. When you're on about the spin text there, Mike, it's personal preference, mate. Some people use spin text. If you're going to use spin text, use good quality spin text. If you're not, brand the site. So if you're doing small sites, 10 mile radius, you don't necessarily need to use spin text, but use good top quality content and brand the site so it looks like your company message as opposed to actually just being content written on a website. Alternatively, if you're creating big sites but you're not wanting to brand them, then I would use spin text and give most pages so they've all got unique content. And there's a lot of stuff which I can show you tonight if you want, which MPP does, so you can have completely unique pages. Right, so what I'm going to do, if you look down here, bottom, you can save as template. So let's click Save as Template, and MPP page template. Click Save. So it's that bottom one. So there's an MPP page one there, but that's not what we're going to use. Okay, so we've done that. Now we can go back to dashboard. Over to Magic Page and click Add New. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do on here is I'm going to set the top of the page title up here, and I'm going to use the same thing that I'm going to use for my meta title and my social title, which is going to be the title for Facebook and stuff like that. And then I'm going to add my meta descriptions down here. Now this is Magic Page SEO settings here. And I'm just going to read through this one a second with you and explain what it does. In fact, I'll show you what it does before we go on any further. Just let me click Publish. Right, so inside of that meta title, what I've done is I've gone over here and I've got the cities and I've changed it to titles. Okay, and you see how it gives you this type CSV, and then I've set the amount. So if you have a look down here now inside the content, what you will see this cities count equals 5, type equals CSVT. So that basically means it's a title, so it's not a link to somebody else's page. So obviously if I was to grab this and let's just, if I was to grab that and just put that on the page, that's going to give us backlinks to the 10 closest locations to the page we're currently on. I'm just going to quickly show you what that does inside of your meta description and title before we move on to creating the page. So view the magic page, it's still going to look terrible. Oh, give me a sec, guys. You've got to set your central location. So you type whatever word your central location is going to be in, wait for it to populate, click there. Now this is pulled in from your databases. And as you can see, we've now got 120 pages installed. So if I click update, that's now set the central location. You see what that looked like a minute ago when I was just on it? Now the central location is London. So it's Car Locksmith London, London Auto Locksmiths. And these are the 10 closest locations to the current page that you're on. So Crawley, for example, we move over there. It'll be Crawley. And then if I go up here, I'll quickly show you what that CSV thing I've just done inside the meta title does. Okay, so if you look here, I don't know if everybody can see this, but it says, do you need a local auto locksmith in Crawley? So we put a location. We can access some of the best auto locksmiths in West Sussex. That's where I've put the word county, or the short code county. We also have offices in Guildford, Hove, Brighton and Hove, sorry, Woking, Worthing. If you're ever out of town and need a top quality auto locksmith. Now, if I move to a different page, it will be for the 5 closest major cities. So what this does now is it pulls every single meta description, pulls in the 5 closest major cities to the one that they're currently on. So it just looks much more unique. And it's just it makes you look like a bigger national, well-established company. And you can do that really, really quickly. Okay. Let's go back to edit magic page. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to pull in that template we've just been. Oh, one sec. Right. If you ever come up like this on Elementor and it's not working, go over to Elementor, click on Role Manager. I thought it was Role Manager. Okay, I'm talking crap. 1 minute, guys. Let me find it. Here we go. Click on Settings. Sorry. See where it says Magic Page? I'd click both of them. Click Save. Now when we go over to Magic Page and click Edit, we'll be able to use Elementor on it. See? So that's how easy it is to get Elementor working. Okay. So again, we come down to the bottom. And we're going to go to Elementor Canvas, same as we have done earlier. That's going to get rid of all that crap on the page. That up there, I'll move that in a minute. Click Update. Click on this. And go to My Templates, because we've just saved the template. That's the one we've just saved. So I'm going to click Insert. Boom. So we've now got... Nope, just jump back out. If it does that to you, yep, I'll show you that city's code again, Mike. Don't worry, mate. I'll go through this now, and then I can show you anything you want at the end, pal. I'll go through absolutely anything you want me to go through tonight, and at least that way, when you watch this back, it will make lots more sense to you. Okay, so this is the same page we've just had. We don't need this up here no more. In fact, we can keep that because we're going to get rid of this over here, aren't we? Okay, so let's trash that top bit. We don't need it. Right, if you want to create a footer for one of these, the way I like to create footers really quickly, because it'll match the rest of your site, is go up here, right-click, duplicate. Okay, I think it's over here where you grab it. Let's just see what happens. There we go. Roll to the bottom before we start sticking stuff in. We'll do that. Okay, then we right-click here and delete that. And click on that, up a bit, and then go over here and click centered. And then that looks a bit stupid, so I'm assuming they've set a minimum height. Let me have a look. No, I'm in the wrong bit. Sorry, guys. Minimum height, there we go. We've got a 600 minimum height. Let's move that down to about 200 so it doesn't look as bad. No, more than that. 300. Right, there you go. So now we've got a nice looking footer with a click to call in the footer and a click to call here. So if anybody comes on mobile device or anyone scrolls to the bottom, we're going to get the same. Right, next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to incorporate the content in the page. We don't want the page to look crap, but we need a lot of content because the long thing here. And just let me explain as well. I did the meta descriptions in here before, and I forgot to explain why I was doing them. Now the reason. I'll click to update. Just let me exit to dashboard and just explain those meta titles. Okay, so the meta title I did before read car locksmith location, location auto locksmiths, car key repaired, replaced, or vehicles unlocked. Yep. I'm not going after long tail keywords. I'm going after the major keywords. Okay, so we're not putting all this 24-hour. We're putting the major keywords. We're going after the major keywords when we're targeting these pages. We're not trying to hit, as I think it was Mike who said, the low-hanging fruit before. That's not what we're trying to do with these sites. What we're trying to do is hit the major keywords, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pick the low-hanging fruit using our content. Okay, as you can see, that's pulled the 100 locations in from the homepage. We don't want that on here. So we'll delete that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in. If you look over here, we've got one called toggles somewhere. There it is. See that one? Okay, so we drag the toggles in. And they look something like this. And obviously you can style these up however you want. And I'm going to add 10 different toggles in here today. And I've got the content pre-written, so you don't need to panic. But let me go to the content 1 second. So for example, the top one here, car key duplication. And then what we're going to do is I've got pre-written content. Throwing all our spin text all the way along there. Like I said, MPP accepts spin text anywhere. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of content going into there. And then we're going to grab toggle 2. And that one's car key programming. I'm going to add another item, and I'm going to add all my content. I'm actually going to do this how I would if I was building the site for myself. So Sorry, guys, there's not many more here, but I'm doing them all so you can understand what it is I'm doing. I want to explain it in a minute. Not long until this is finished now, and then I can show you, so I can go through with you exactly how we'd rank the traffic and how we build our backlink structure. I've got a bit more content here for vehicle unlocking, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to locked out a car, and then I'm going to scroll to the bottom of that. I'm going to click update. Now we can change all this and we'll make it look all fancy and obviously swap it around so the colours match the page and everything else. But I'm not really bothered what it looks like for you guys today. I'll change all that when I'm getting around to it. You don't need to know how to use Elementor. Right, so basically now when we go and look at this page, we've got a nice video at the top. We've got London Auto Locksmiths. We've got all of the writing in here throughout all the way down. Obviously, I'd space that out differently, but I'm not going to bother. Now, this has all been spun. So this page could be used 50, 100 times, and it'll always have unique content on it every single time, because this has been really well spun, and it should read really, really well every single time. So they've even done silly things for me, like we're open round the clock in big writing, and when this is shown on a different page, it will say something different. So let me go back to my shortcodes. And edit with Elementor. So we're going to grab a text bar, chuck it in there. Okay, we provide auto locksmiths in cities and location. Okay, so the city shortcode is going to pull in the 10 closest locations. That's going to pull in the location. Okay, all of this content now has been pulled into the page. But what you want to be trying to do is any long tail keywords you're going for, especially with the location. Jeff, the not headings H2 and H3 yet. Elementor doesn't do that for you, but I'll show you how I check that in a minute. I'm glad you asked, because I'll show you how I check that in a minute before I go on and make the changes. There's a super simple tool here, SEO Quake Toolbar, which I use, which just shows you instantly, and it just, you don't need to think about it. But I'll show you that now. But as you can see, that's pulled in the 10 closest locations to London, and if we go to a different location, it would do the same. So we've built a 120-page website now, and the reason I've just added that content, in fact, let me get rid of these other pages. Right, and the reason I've just added that content now is if I go over to, which was the one I was looking at a minute ago, that had round the clock. See how it says round the clock there? Let's go on to Harlow. And that one says round the clock as well. 1 second. Oh, I've just been on London. Emerald Hempstead. 24 hours a day. We are open 24 hours a day. We are open round the clock. It'll go into capitals. Call Emerald Hempstead Auto Locksmiths on number. That's something I've asked them to put in number, because I'm going to copy and replace that throughout. I should have already done it, but I've not done it prior to the website webinar, which I should have done. So this now is a 120-page website right now. The first thing I would start to do next to make sure that these pages were okay for SEO, go into my SEO Quake toolbar, and click diagnose. Okay, now I ignore when it says the title is too long like that. Don't care. Google will read it, and as long as this little bit here looks okay for your customer, so Carl Locksmith, Hemel Hempstead Auto Locksmith, got all the major keywords in there that I want. The main keyword is Carl Locksmith. That's the most searched, so that's at the beginning of the meta title. And then this is your opportunity to make a sales pitch. Obviously, it doesn't help your ranking. Do you need local auto locksmith, Hemel Hempstead? Question mark. We have access to some of the best auto locksmith in Hertfordshire. Stuff like that. We're the best rated, we're the highest rated, so on and so forth. But somebody mentioned the H tags a minute ago. Jeff, it's at the top actually. So I can see now straight away here the H tags. There's no H1, there's 2 H2, and there's 5 H3. So realistically, just to say that this is happy with the way the SEO looks on it, you're going to want 1 H1 tag. So to do that in Elementor, it's super easy. Click on this. Oh no, I have to click edit with Elementor. So I'll click on that there. It's not going to change the way it looks. Just go down here, click H1, click update. Go back to view page. Don't click our and as you can see, it's now fixed itself. So our H tags are all set. So this is a real simple, easy way. It doesn't matter how many H3s you've got. Maybe change a couple of them to H4s, because a few people have been saying H4s actually do help a lot more than we previously thought with your rankings. But obviously, that's on personal preference and stuff like that for who your industry and so on and so forth. Because I've put a lot of content in here, you can see we've got 61% text to HTML ratio. And with this, I've not filled in all of the SEO settings, but as you will see, when it loads up, this automatically puts your local business schema in for you. So as you can see, local business, do you need auto locksmith in London? We have access to some of the best auto locksmiths in Greater London, City of London. We also have offices in Dartford, Watford, Harlow, St Albans, Slough, and then obviously Carl Locksmith London. So it pulls your meta title and your meta description into here. Then you've got an address, London, EC2V8, county, country, and then it pulls in your geo coordinates straight into your page. Okay, so all that's done automatically. But whilst creating this, I would also be putting in schema like product schema, website schema, locksmith schema, because this is a locksmith website, and that can be done from the back end here. I'm not going to go in and build loads of schema now. I'm going to go through and just show you one. So we'll go in and we'll create a product schema. But as you can see, if we were trying to build, gives you all your short codes here, location, county, region. So if you drop down here, we want product schema. This is the one that's going to give us the reviews on the page. So it looks like you've got, when you search in Google and you see somebody with 5 stars, the product schema does that for you. So we'll put look at, in fact, you know what we can do? We'll pull in the meta title. We don't need to, but we'll just do it because it's quicker. Okay, so you can see that for your brand, you can pull in that. For your name, we'll pull in the same. Right, you go and copy the image from your website. So you just right click, copy the image URL, pull it into here. Description, I will pull in the meta description for us. So we put in the meta description. You see we've got absolutely loads of content in there now. Don't know why that's ain't. Right, I've just pulled that out because it didn't seem to be showing the cities thing correctly. Right, your ratings. So if you don't want the same rating on every single page, as you can see, we've activated the spin tax. Okay, so what we can do in here is you can put in 5, 4.9, 4.8, 4.7, 4.6, and let's close it off at that. Yeah, so every page that shows, it's either going to show 4.6 up to 5 stars based on how many reviews. So again, here you put 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 4, 87, and 1, 2, so on and so forth. 89. Okay, and then what that's going to do now is this is going to spin between all of this, right? But because you've enabled spin text inside your page, now this is a bit of an advanced feature, so you need to watch what I'm doing now. Can everybody see what I'm doing? I'm just wondering, can you guys see exactly what I'm doing? Let me come back over to the... Right, you can see the schema, can't you? Sorry guys, because it pulls it up on the screen. I just wanted to make sure you could all see it. Right, so what I do with this schema now, right, is if you put this straight into the page, what's going to happen is this little bit here and this little bit here and these two little bits here are going to be treated as spin text. Okay, we have a protector on the website that just you paste it in and it'll do the content protection for you, but we don't want to protect these two sections here. So what you do is you copy this. I can click copy from clipboard there. Then you scroll down the page and there's a little text editor here for you. Paste it in, and then it tells you at the bottom, content protection code, verbatim, verbatim. So what you do is you grab this. This is might seem a bit over thingy for some people, but it's really simple once you get used to doing it. And then you put your open bracket, and what you're going to do is you're going to replace the bits that look like spin text, which you don't want spinning, because you obviously don't want that bit spinning there. And you don't want that bit spinning because there's no spin text between it. Right, but you want these to spin, and you want these to spin. And we'll grab from there up to the top. So that's all you've got to do. Just get rid of them two things. Keep that spin text where it is. I'm going to copy this. Let me just make sure I've copied that. You're going to come back out and you're going to go down to your X fields section. I'm going to call it product schema. Paste it in there, click save. Copy that. I'm going to paste it into your head code here. So you've got header and footer code abilities. Paste it into your head code there. And then what I'm going to do now is click update. And I'll show you the difference in the schema now, because this will change on every single page as well throughout the whole website. View the page. Let's go back down here. Let's do Hemel Hempstead. Let's have a look at the schema. So what we should have now, unless I broke something. You've still got your local business schema. Now you've got your errors because I didn't pull the image in. I didn't add the price range or the telephone number. I'll show you where I didn't add them in a minute. I can get rid of them really, really quick. And then your product schema. I didn't pull the offer in, the image again on that one. But these are warnings, so these are not that important. But what is important is you can see on this page here, okay, Car Locksmith, Hemel Hempstead Auto Locksmiths. Right, and then you can see 4.6. So you're going to get a 4.6 star review of 123 reviews on that page. Now, if I go to a different page, so you can do this as complicated as you want, and you can put in as much time as you want in the spinning and so on and so forth. I'm just doing a basic show so you can see what I mean now. But this is all very, very, very powerful for your SEO. This really, really works. Schema's becoming more and more important, and it is something you should spend a bit of time on with your websites. So as you can see, 4.987 reviews. So it spins that bit that we're doing because we protected the top bit. If you don't use spin text in this and you want to just have one number throughout with one ranking, you just protect the whole thing. And you do that by simply going to Evan, the pipe, these basically, that's where it breaks off when you're doing spin text. So if you come down here, protect content, if we paste that content from before into here, that big massive script of content, and we want to protect it, when it comes down here, this just wraps it in verbatim for you. You can copy it straight out of there. So if you ever need to protect something, like if you got a form, a JavaScript form or anything like that, then that'll do it. Right, I'm going to come back soon to this and run through some more stuff with you guys, because there's quite a few bits I want to show you. But basically, what the main thing we're looking at here is we're not targeting, we're not going after the low-hanging fruit. We're not going after your long-tail keywords. What we are going after is long content, 6,300 words on the page, as you can see. And when we do come down further and we have a look, I'm going to be here all day, we'll see that the keywords we're targeting are the proper keyword. We're not going after long tail keywords. They're only on there once or twice, and then everything else will be the auto locksmith, and the locksmith, it is too much content for me to go through it. But what we're going after is exactly what's inside here, because your long tail keywords are not relevant. So what will happen now, if I'd have built 10 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right, 10 pages, and I'd have done each of those individual keywords times location. So we'd have 10 pages for one location. So where we'd have 120 pages now on this website, what we'd normally be looking at, if you were doing it the way that most people do, are building mass page websites like Spam, you would be looking at 10 times that. So you're going to be looking at a 1,200 page website. Each of these pages would have this much content on, and each one of these pages would only be ranking for keywords relevant to car key duplication, car key programming, car key replacement. What will happen now is this will rank for all of these keywords because it's in there. What I would probably do, just quickly, is I would come down and edit these. And then what I would do is go into here and I type space, shortcode, location. I highlight that, copy. Oh, you don't need to do a space. What this is doing is this is guaranteeing that our long tail keyword included with the location is on the page at least once. So we've got it in there at least once. And what that's going to do is that's going to make sure that we rank. But then, I'm sorry for going off on a tangent and just doing this. I'm going to go back to what I was talking about in a minute. So as you can see now, they're all London. And then if we go to a different page, Slough and Albany, so on and so forth, this is going to cover now every single major city in the whole country. So if we go back to the home page, oh, I know what I didn't do. Settings, reading. You need to choose a home page, don't you? So now when we go back to the home page, as you can see, it's pulling in London because that's our central location, the one that we did inside the magic page. It's pulling in London onto all of these. So every single one of these mentions London and London Auto Locksmiths. Then underneath here, we've put, we provide auto locksmiths in, and it's listing all of the locations that we do. So say I wanted to go to Liverpool, click on that, and we're in the Liverpool auto locksmith page. And it is that quick and that easy to create these type of sites that are going to cover national. Now, what I would do is obviously I would stick in more additional thingy pages, but your actual magic page, the actual page that you're trying to rank, don't be trying to do 10 different pages along the keywords. It doesn't work anymore. Google, this is what I was explaining a minute ago. If this one page is going to get at least 5 times more traffic than any one of these individual pages would. And because traffic is now so important in 2019, Google's really taking traffic seriously. It's looking at your sites, it's copying traffic. This one page is going to have much more authority in Google's eyes than any of them 10, if you did them all as 10, which was this long tail keyword times location. So if these were all 10 different pages, what's going to happen is this one page is going to have much more authority. So Google's going to rank it higher. It also ranks it for longer, and this is what our testing has been showing us. It ranks it for much longer. So what happens is this page starts to outrank all of these pages in all of the areas they're listed, and basically these are going to cost Google 10 times as much to index it, whereas this one page that we've got isn't costing 10 times the amount to be indexed. So what happens is it keeps these indexed, these long pages, and it drops all of these, and obviously Google's saving billions a year by doing that. So that is the main, these are the types of sites that are working for us. I'm going to come back over now and I can go through any features or anything people want to go through in a moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put together a drawing of exactly how we are linking to our money sites. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing that screen for a moment. And as you can see, that was real quick, really easy to build the site. I don't know, we've been on an hour now, probably talked for 10 minutes at the start. I'm going to draw some pictures now. Okay, can everybody see? Okay, right, I'm just going to look for a couple of questions, guys, but can everyone see that I've got a white screen up now? Right, Valerie, if you go back onto webinars.net, you'll be able to see exactly how to optimize the metadata inside of the images. When you upload an image to WordPress, it automatically strips all the metadata out. What you have to do is use FTP, and that's probably a bit too much for tonight's course. Right, everyone can see that, I can see. But basically, I've done a metadata, how to optimize images. It'll be on webinars.net. If you have a look on there, you'll see that there's a video that explains exactly how to optimize your images with all your metadata for these type of sites. I wouldn't do it on national websites. I wouldn't be putting any metadata in them. What I would do is just put the alt tags and title tags inside of the images. I wouldn't do the metadata. What I do is for my major city sites, that's where I start changing the metadata. And what I do is I do a 5 or 10 mile radius around my major city website. And then I position metadata in random places around the major city, not around all the other areas. And I don't use keywords inside the images anymore. I just use a specific keyword. Like when I say keywords, I mean location keywords. So I'd use Auto Locksmith, but I wouldn't use Auto Locksmith Manchester. I would use Auto Locksmith, and then I would have a drop to pin for the metadata inside somewhere close to Manchester. So Google doesn't think you're trying to trick it, because it's easy using the word auto and locksmith, and then you're using the metadata to show it that it's near Manchester. So you're not trying to trick it by using the keyword. I find that seems to work better. Right, image up tonight, right, so how are you? Right, backlinking these pages, that's what I'm going to get onto now, Valerie. This is exactly what I'm going to get onto. You don't need, right, your internal linking structure is taken care of automatically on Magic Page using your city shortcodes, okay? That gives it a full internal linking structure. If you want to add a sitemap, you simply go into, you just add Yoast SEO, and turn your sitemap on, and you've automatically got a sitemap.xml. We've created an add-on for the thing that just works with Yoast. That's also on webinars.net. One more quick thing that I will actually show you guys as well. Just let me share that screen one more minute before I go on to the backlinking. Get rid of that. Okay, you guys should be able to see that website again. I'm just going to show you how to redirect, because if you're buying expired domains, okay, and you don't want to mess around for ages using your single niche PBNs, which it's probably a bit more out of tonight's thing, but single niche PBNs is what I use. I don't go using normal PBNs like everybody else. I use single niche PBNs, and I buy expired domains from expireddomains.net. I used to use Register Compass, but they charge a stupid amount of money for it, and they're the same domain, so there's no point. So I use expireddomains.net. Let me put. And what you want to be doing is you want to be expired domains. What you want to do is you want to be 301 redirecting your the backlinks from the other pages. So when it comes into your website. So what I'm just going to do quickly now, while you guys can see my screen again, can't you? I'm going to open another tab here, and I'm going to grab that URL. I'm going to show you something. I'll do this really, really quickly. I've never had a problem doing this. If somebody tells me there is a problem with it, I don't believe them. But someone might tell me there is. So I've never had a problem. It always works. So you do your site colon. There's still a few pages. This site was taken down a while ago, but as you can see, I've had it a while, and some of these pages, extremelocks.co.uk/emergency locksmith/local/locksmith_Ceredigion or whatever that is. Yes, Mass Optimizer. I'm on a Mac, so I don't use Mass Optimizer that much, Mike. But yeah, Lloyd's tool's really, really good. I like it. When I'm on a PC, I'm using that. When I'm on a Mac, I use, let me just have a look what it's called. MetaGear, META Gear. And it's an app straight from the App Store. It's only about 12 quid. Right, so you see this now. If I click on this, yeah, this is an indexed page in Google. If I click on that, that's the page that you're going to get, okay? Now let me back out of there. Let me show you how quick it is to 301 all these. Super, super simple. So you go into plugins, go into add new, go into search, type in 301. You can get one that's got two little numbers on it. There we go, this one. Install. I'm going to click that same link in a minute and you'll see what I mean. Okay, activate. Sorry guys, just let's let this update a second while I'm here. Right, click on settings. That's on a 301 redirect. That'll automatically redirect to the home page. Straight away, done. Yep. If you want to do it to a specific URL, you can do. Save settings. Now let's go back over here. Okay, so we were going to click on, on one of these. I don't know which one it was, but let's just click on any. Bump, straight in. So it's that quick to set up your 301 redirects. You don't need to do all messing about. There's loads of videos out that shows you all stupid ways of doing it. That little plugin that I've just used there with the two pictures on it, one says 301, one says 404, that does it instantly. That's what I use when I'm buying expired domains and I want to redirect all the backlinks in to my sites. So I just thought I'd show you that. It's worth knowing that obviously helps bring all the power into the homepage. If you want to redirect them to some other page, I never bother, because on the homepage of your Magic page, you've got a list of URLs. So it's automatically from London down to all of the closest locations. You're going to pull it into all your major cities anyway. And if you're doing a site that's only got 4, 5, 6 major cities, you can set this map up. So the city shortcode. Let me just show you. Oh, I need to be on Magic page to show you. You can go into your city shortcode down here and you can default all, only major cities. So if I do a map and click only major cities, that's going to still be all. We're doing it because I've only installed major cities. But if you've got a normal website and you only want to show your major cities on your home page, then you just click only major cities and it'll put major_cities equals true. And then what will happen is however many of these you show up will just show you major cities, which will link back from your home page. Okay, I'm going to come back over to the thing now, and I'm going to show you how my backlinking structure works. It's quite complicated, but when I show it you today on here, you should understand it pretty much straight away. It's not difficult at all. Okay, so I'm going to hide that again. I'm going to get rid of that ugly face off the screen. Okay, can you all see the white screen again, guys? Map embeds. Yeah, I do want some, Valerie. To be honest, I've not really. Maps are great for ranking GMBs. Maps using driving directions are great for ranking your GMBs. They slow the pages down a little bit. I'm not seeing any great ranking boosts for actual websites using maps. Videos is a different story altogether. What I like to do with videos, while we're on, I'm going to show you my backlinking structure. What I like to do with my videos is when I go through this backlinking structure in a minute, what I do with videos is I fire everything at the video. So I don't bother just firing little bits and bobs and doing it a specific structured way. I fire absolutely everything at it, and then I embed the video. And I find that does help with rankings. And I like to use Michael Bowles' Video Viper to set up the traffic. I'm finding I get much better results with my UK sites when I use the Video Viper, and I'm getting great results in the States with the Traffic Viper and the Video Viper. Videos, I love his video tool. Right, everyone can see this, guys. I'm gonna quickly run through exactly how. Right, so the site that I've just shown you tonight is a major city website. So I've not done loads of pages. I've only installed the major cities. There's only 120 pages, right? So then what I will do is, okay, just let me work this out. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, right, 5 tiers, don't we? So this is going to be a major city here. So let me. Sorry, talking crap. This is national site. Okay. So this is my national website. And directly under my national website, I'm going to have my major city sites. Okay, so I'm not going to draw them all in, but let's pretend we've got, because obviously we don't want 120 of these things, right? And what these do is these link in to the, right, these will now, let me see if we've got an arrow on here. We have, cool. So these are going to link into this, yep. And these are my major city websites with between a 5 and a 10 mile radius of a major city. So and so on and so forth all the way along. Okay, so what you do is, say this is Manchester. This will point in to the Manchester page on the national website. This is Liverpool, Liverpool, Miami, Miami. Yep, so on and so forth. I don't know that many cities in America, so I'm just going to not carry on with what I'm saying. And then from that point, then you're going to have another tier. And anybody who's not watched my videos on single niche PBNs, these are your single niche PBNs next. If you haven't watched the video, and you should do, because it's really the only way that I'm finding that you're getting any success anymore with using PBN, simply because links have got to be relevant nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong, each of these major cities is going to be one link coming in. You might have 3, 4, 5 PBN sites pointing to one major city. Don't cross the links. So don't use, if you've got 4, if you watch my video on single niche, no, not better than me son, Anna. If you watch my video on single niche PBNs, you'll understand how to build these things. You build them into like pyramids, like little 5, 6, 7 site pyramids. Okay, single niche PBNs, you keep them all separate. You don't have a big massive triangle of hundreds of them, because if one gets taken down, your whole network gets taken down. So you keep them small. You have a top level one, and you have another 2 or 3, and another 3 or 4 underneath that. Okay, so you'll have to watch my video on single niche PBNs to understand that, but. And what we would do with the single niche PBNs is we will point from random pages inside of your single niche PBN to to the same page inside of your major city sites. So you create a single niche PBN that covers a similar area to your major city site. And say you pick Oldham and point at the Oldham page inside of this one. Say you pick Everton and you point at the Everton one inside here. Say you pick, I don't know, somewhere in Miami, I don't know any areas, and you point at one of the little areas in Miami and here, and you do that throughout your whole single niche PBN network. Okay, then underneath this, we then start to use the dynamic backlink builder that's incorporated inside of your magic page automatically. I'm going to show you how to use that later in a minute if anybody doesn't know. But what we're going to put here, oh, let's ignore that. We're going to put S3. Okay, so basically what you're now doing, you're creating using your dynamic backlink builder inside here, and then what this will do is will automatically create to your PBNs, and the way you set them links up, I'll have to show you in a minute, but what it will do is this, say you upload 200 pages, what it will automatically enable you to do, if you spin the URLs inside the when you've set it up, what it's going to enable you to do is link from the 200 randomly between all of your PBN sites. So you'll be able to do random links between all your PBN sites. And if one of your PDF uploads is talking about an Oldham page, it will automatically connect to the Oldham page on your PBN site based on the URL and the URL structure that you set up. Okay, I'll show you that in a moment if anybody wants to see it. If you have not watched the, I think it's about second or third video down on webinars.net, it shows you the full thing about dynamic link building and everything using that. And then after that, there's two more things we do. So after that, we then use Robot, if you've got it, or even better, Michael's Embed Network. The reason that's better is because they've got some bloody good accounts on there. So the power of them, there's a lot of Michael's guys on here who use it, and you will understand they just got more power. They just seem to work better. And then they will point into these. So you've got 5-tier linking structure. And this is what we're doing, because then what will happen is your major city sites are pointing into here, and you brand the whole network. So this becomes Extreme Locks Limited. These become franchised sites of Extreme Locks Limited. These ones on the major cities. Yeah, Valerie, SEO Autopilot, so just the same. The both tools created just to spam the crap out of things, aren't they? But they do work as long as you keep them down here. If you start sticking them straight into this top site here, you're gonna drop the site. So what you do is you build your network like this, and you put a big buffer between yourself and them. But what you do is you brand this network, then you brand these as like franchise sites or something along those lines that were connected to this, and that's the reason they're pointing in. Okay, and then from there you start doing your single niche PBNs that are just random unbranded sites. So unbranded, so your single niche PBNs that point to your major cities are just unbranded, and they're just saying if you wanted another decent locksmith, plumber, roofer, whatever, in or near to Oldham, Rochdale, Liverpool, Leeds, wherever, go here, and the link will always point to the internal pages. But you use the location shortcode to do that inside of your backlink, and that way it'll automatically choose the page that you're putting it to. Then it's your Amazon S3 setup, which obviously is on your dynamic backlink builder. Then you use your Money Robot or Michael's Embed Network. Yes, you can also use SEO Autopilot. I've never used it, but I've heard good things. I think you think we... Can you not see my mouse? Cheers. Right, okay, you can't see my mouse, so you don't know what I'm talking about. So national website first. So your national website, your major cities are the ones that point into the locations on there, and they become branded. Single niche PBNs point into them, and S3 Google Drive point into single niche PBNs. It's a simple structure once you've looked at it a couple of times and you realize and you understand how to use each of these tools. But that's how your backlinking structure needs to be. And what will happen is you will find that your national website will automatically rank for the major cities. So you'll start to see it lifting up across throughout all the major cities. And then a lot of people, is there anybody on tonight who's interested in rank and rent, the rank and rent structure? Because this is perfect for the rank and rent structure. Right, the single niche PBNs, I put crap content on them. I just put crap spun content from big content and places like that. The content for S3 and PDFs comes straight from your website. Right, there's loads of people doing the rank and rent model. Rank and rent, yes. Subdomain's bad. Yes, right, rank and rent. Okay, guys. So the way to use it, once you've created this network, right, you've got a huge you've got a website here, the top website, the national website is going to rank in all the major cities, so it's going to get quite a lot of traffic. Then the major city sites are also going to rank really, really well because you're connecting them with the PBNs. So you don't need a ton of PBNs, you know, Mike. Not if you buy an expired domain, 5 or 6 per thing. And we use the evergreen site model. If none of you have watched the evergreen site model, basically, let me go back to showing you my site again. Has anyone? I'm going to take a picture of that because if anyone wants the image, I can send it you. And because once I remove this, it's gone, which is a bit crap. Right, so that's gone. Right, so let me go back into here. Right, the evergreen site model. So what we do for an evergreen site model is you incorporate the same way we've done on these pages. You spin text and all that stuff, okay? You spin everything on this page and you also use shortcodes everywhere. So you use these shortcodes. Anywhere that you're going to write the location, you type in location. Anywhere you're going to build in a backlink, you use the word slug. County, region, zip, country, latitude, longitude, you put shortcodes instead of using the real word. You do that throughout your website. So on your home page, on your about page, on your contact us page, on all of your other pages that you incorporate into this website. I'm not going to build all of the pages, but the sites are the same. And you see, if we go to edit with Elementor now, and I click this top one, you'll see that London, this is the home page. This is not the magic page. Okay, that's location. That's location. This is on the home page, not on the magic page. That's location. The shortcodes work site-wide. So what you do is you use your locations, your location shortcodes everywhere on your home, about all of your pages, and you spin all of your content. And then what you do is you clone this website, right? And you pull it down. So let's go back to the, in fact, view page. Let's go back to one of the magic pages, yeah? Let's click on Hemel Hempstead. Okay, and then let's go back into edit. And let me delete London. Okay, so all the pages are going to disappear. So now you've got no pages on your website. And let me type in Manchester. Click update. And then let's go back over to the settings just for 1 minute and type in and click save settings. Now when I go back to the home page, what that is, you've got a Manchester website. Everything's based on Manchester. Okay, so if we added a contact us and about and everything else, the whole site becomes a Manchester site instantly. Clone the site, take it down, go back into one of your magic pages. So you just clone the site, put it up on a new site. Let's get rid of Manchester. Let's change this to Oldham. And you don't need a big radius because you've got all the areas covered. You set up a 5 mile radius or whatever it is you want. Instantly, it becomes an Oldham site, and every single page becomes unique. It respins, and you have an Oldham site. So with your single niche PBNs, you throw in a load. You build one website, and see, now I've got an Oldham website. Everything on it's Oldham. Even if you put in the regions, the counties, longitude and latitude settings, and everything else. Yeah, Houston's not going to work. This is a UK site. But what I'm saying is it's a single niche PBN. So you can create evergreen style websites. You build one, and then all you've got to do is clone it with W. Let me just find it. I can never remember the name of it. WP. There you go. All-in-one WP migration. I always think it's all-in-one WP duplication or something. You use that to clone the site instantly. And then all you do is you put in a fresh install of WordPress, install all-in-one WP migration, upload the other site, change the central location, and you've instantly got another site for a different location. So you only build one major city site, but you do very, very well on it. This WP is much better. I know, really, really good it is. It's a couple of clicks and it's done. And there's none of that messing around with databases or anything. So you just literally install with WP, all-in-one WP migration, and you can set up 50, 60 sites in a couple of hours because you've built the first one. That first site takes you maybe 4 or 5 hours to create. But once that's created, you can just upload, change the central location, click a button, done. Next. Same with your single niche PBNs, but you don't need as good a site as you're going to use for your major city sites. Your single niche PBNs can be filled with a load of crap. It's the backlinks that you really want. Okay, guys. What stuff do people want me to talk them through? Is there any questions? Anyone want me to go through anything? Right, sorry, I forgot. I was going on to rank and rent. Right, Jesus Christ. Sorry. It's like it's getting late over here. Right, I'm telling sites created like this in a manner, but more done for you option. Right, I don't know about that, David. You're better off asking in the group for that, mate. How to do the PBN clone. I can do a quick video for you for that, Scott, and stick it on the group, no problem, mate. But the all-in-one WP, if you just all-in-one WP migration, if you just see how to use it, or you go to the evergreen site model that I've done. In fact, webinars.net. 1 minute, mate. I'll show you the video that's got it in. I think can find that one with the golf clubs on it. I actually go through and clone sites in that video because I use different / golf clubs / thing. Yeah, it's a demo that I've done with how to create Amazon affiliate sites using it. And if you look inside there, it shows you how to use all-in-one WP migration. Really, really quick. Seconds to clone a new site, stick it up, and use the templates from it, from Elementor as well. Right, okay, rank and rent, guys, okay? So these are brilliant for rank and rent because once you've created that that backlink network I was showing you earlier and you started to rank your sites, you've created, you're getting the traffic and everything else built in, you're putting a little bit of social because you're building a huge network. So it's not like you're having to do it for every single site, right? So let's pretend we wanted to rent out Oldham and every area within, say, I don't know, 50-mile radius of Oldham to a client, and he said, yeah, I'll buy all them areas off you, I'll pay XYZ amount. We've got a national website here, and now in most national websites, it's either you rent out the one area or you spend ages adding their phone number to all different areas for it, or you can use an overlay. But again, if you use an overlay, it covers the whole site, doesn't it? Or you add it into individual pages. What you do with Magic Page, let me go to one of the Magic Pages first, and then let me go edit Magic Page. So let's say, I don't know, one of our mates, Brian, comes along and says, I want to, let me shift out of there so it's more simple for you to understand what I'm doing. Right, so head code's blank, so it doesn't look like there's loads of code in there. Right, so our mate Brian comes up and says, I want to take every area with a 50-mile radius of Oldham. So Brian, go into here to choose location. We type in Oldham. Okay, we select that. We click. Okay, he wants 50 miles or 50 locations. There's not going to be that many because it's a major city site. I'm going to save the location set over here in the bottom left. Okay, next thing to do is click update. So it looks like there's 30 major cities. I'll show you now. So the way that works when you're creating an overlay, sorry, not an overlay, when you're creating Magic Page location sets, it shows here there's 30 locations. It chooses whichever comes first. So they want a 50-mile radius or 50 locations. So you can do them a deal and say, well, you can have 100 locations for it or this radius, whichever comes first. That way it helps you structure it. Then what you do is you copy that location set and you create a new X field, okay? And we're going to call this rent. So you're going to rent this. So you don't want an overlay on any of this section here. So what you're going to do is you're going to click Add Custom. When you click that location set into there, that's Brian's location set, which is for Oldham. Then you're going to go up to Create Overlay. And this is just my personal blog. Pull that over to here. As you can see, that's created the information we need. Okay, you can copy that, close that down, go in here, and do that, and then click Save. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab this. This is why we created the head code. Paste this into the head code, and click Update. So what we've just done is we've just sold Brian, whoever Brian is, all of these locations here. So Brian's got Oldham, Rochdale, Manchester, Bury, Salford, Stockport, Sale, and so on and so forth. And he's got my personal blog. So if I go back to view now, because we've got a central location of Oldham, as soon as we click view, this should show my website. Yep, my website. It's running slow as usual. Boom. So that shows my website, okay? Now, if I go into here, I've got to do this using the URL because I can't click the cities link anymore. But if I go into here, oh, what are you doing? I could have made this easier for myself. Right, if I go in here now and type in London, he's not bought London, all right? So he doesn't have the London one. But then if I go back to the home page and we click on any of them that were near the initial area, okay, the home page isn't the Oldham page. The home page is the home page. So it doesn't overlay the home page, but so Stockport was one of the ones that I seen in there. Okay, so click Stockport, and as you can see, this is going to be Brian's website, and it's loading slow because my website's slow. If you click on Rochdale, that's also going to be Brian's. But every single other area in the whole country, you still own and have got access to, so you can sell to multiple people. Gateshead's not within a 50-mile radius of Oldham. So as you can see, the Gateshead site pops up. And if we go and click on somewhere at Middlesbrough, again, it won't, it'll be our own site. So you can create this national site using the linking structure that I've shown you. And what will happen is your actual national website will start to rank in all of the major cities. Solely major city sites will start to rank in all of those locations. So you sell the major city site with the radius on the national sites. And as you start to solidify the density of what you've installed, you can actually sell these to people based on location very, very, very easily. And the second they say, oh, I'm not paying you because of X, Y, Z, you can also sell this as an SEO service. You can actually say to someone you're SEOing and really you overlay their sites onto your sites. They get all the traffic. They stop paying you. You pop down here, you delete that and remove that out of your head section. And then you just click update again. And when we go back to it, there it is. We're back at the Oldham sites working correctly again. Salford, Stockport, and that's it. So they're sacked. And if they want to come back, they can buy a smaller, larger location radius, however you want to do it. So it really, really is good. You can rank the sites, you can rent them out to people. very, very, very easily. It really, really works well for Rank and Rent. Right, what hosting costs to get set up roughly with? I'm just reading a few questions, guys. William, I use Heart Internet Reseller. Basically, the way Heart Internet's Reseller is set up is when you buy a reseller account and they've got like 500 or 1,000 or maybe more servers. And what they do is they don't give you a section of a server and say, right, that's the amount of space you've got to put your clients' websites on. What they do is they don't care. It's a reseller. It's an unlimited reseller account. So what you do is whenever you set up, it just randomly chooses a server to put your site on. All them sites are 32 gig RAM. So your sites are fast. In addition to that, all them sites have got different IP addresses. So what happens is you end up with a unique IP address on most of your websites, and it's on a 32 gig RAM server, which is usually on with a load of crappy sites that don't use a lot of traffic. So you get away with using loads and loads and loads of traffic. So that's how I do it. I've always used Heart Internet for that, and I find them brilliant. Okay, tracking phone number and not an overlay. Okay, well, let me show you that one. All right, let me go and edit magic page. Sorry, let me go into, right, first of all, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put new location set. I should have probably just done this before, shouldn't I? Let's give Brian Salford this time. Then 5 miles, 5 locations, save location set. Okie dokie. So he's only got 3 locations. Yeah, I'm just gonna update this first, and then I'm gonna show you what what I would do. Okay, so we wanted to sell the location with the phone number in it, didn't we? Right. So what we would do is we grab that, and we go create a new X field, and we type in phone. Okay, main phone number 0769. That's going to be mine, yeah? He wants to buy the areas he wants to buy, and his number is 999 999 999. Okay, click save. Grab that, put it into the head code. Oh, what am I doing in the head code? Why would we do that? 1 second, sorry. You grab that link, you click update first, but we've just copied that link, so we've got it copied. Because we're using Elementor, it's a bit more difficult. Normally we do it inside of here. So you go to edit with Elementor. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more complicated because I don't know if it's going to work on a button. It should do. But let's see. I don't know if it's going to work because it's a button, but we'll see. Okay, update. Yep, we're on the magic page here. Right, and I'm also going to show you in here if we were typing a phone number in, because if it doesn't work on the button, I'm going to look like an idiot. I've never tested it on this with the button. If it doesn't work, I'll have my guys fix it so it does, but I've never tested it, so here we go. Okay, so we've updated that. Exit to dashboard. View magic page. Oh, there we go. Works on a button. Right, so now we need to go back into edit. 1 second. And just have a look at the areas he got besides Salford. So he's got view locations. So he's got Salford, Manchester, and Sale. Okay. So if we come out of there now, Salford, Manchester, and Sale should have a different number. So let's go back to the home page. And now let's go down here and find Salford. 999999. Click to call 999999. Go down here. Manchester was one on it, and Sale. All the 9s. And then Sale. If we go to any other area, we've still got our catch-all phone number, and they can just use our site to create traffic. Right, what's tracking phone number on not on overlay. Right, so there I've just shown you how you do the tracking number. It will not overlay the home page. No, you can overlay the home page, Tim. But all you need to do, mate, is you can go into Edit Magic Page and you go into your overlay builder. So create an overlay. So whatever URL you was going to put in here. Create the overlay code. That's going to work now wherever you put it. So what you'd have to do is, you see this header and footer code thing you've got here. You'd have to go and get a plugin. Header footer block of element or header footer code manager. That's not right. So what you'd be looking for, a custom set of meta tags. Don't know if that's going to be. I'm looking for one that's got the blocks. Insert header and footer. Plug in, add HTML code to the head and footer. Right, that looks like it would do it. So what you do is you'd install this so you can actually put something into the header and footer code. Activate. I've never used this before, so I'm just. Okay, I can't see. That's a bit too complicated. I don't know how that actually works. If you can see you guys see what I'm looking at. So all you need to do, there is a plugin. I don't know what it's called, but basically that's where we got the idea for that header and footer code that we added for the magic page. Oh, no official page. No. Right, that's where we got the idea for that header and footer code, because I said people should be able to add header and footer code so they can add all this stuff. So there is a plugin. I don't know exactly what it's called. If anybody knows what the plugin's called. What it does is it puts two boxes in there, so you can add header and footer code to your website, and then all you do is you paste that overlay code into your header, and it'll automatically overlay the home page as well for you, or any page on the site that you put it on. But I don't know which plugin it is, so I rather than spend hours trying to find it and just keep everyone on here getting dead mad at me, pretty sure that's it, actually. Sorry, guys. I'll try this last one. I'll move on to the next question. Here we go. Update. This should, by the look of it, says head. Add some code to the head. So let's see what happens. View page. Something's gone wrong there. It's carried the verbatim across. Okay, so let me go back. Maybe the code in this head doesn't need protecting. We'll see. So that verbatim's the protector for the spin text, but maybe the spin text isn't working in the. And there we go. So that's overlaying the homepage now, as you can see from the URL. Okay, so you just need to add header and footer code to the thing. That's all it is. So that overlay builder will work on any website, not just on a Magic Page plugin website. You can do that on any website you want. You just add that insert script thing that's just shown you. Right, timescale for these pages to rank and be ready to rent. It's always different, Jeff. I've had sites that I've thrown up in the ranking within a matter of weeks. If you get a decent expired domain, sometimes it can rank really, really quickly. I've had sites go up and be ranking in a matter of days. Other times it takes months. It's different for different industries. It's not always a short-term game. It's not always a short. If you're going after, it used to be very, very easy, but you need to get your backlink structure right. And like I said to you before, that linking structure that I do with mine, when I create videos, every single one of them backlinks, the PBNs, the single niche PBNs, the PDFs, and the money robots and stuff like that, I will fire every single one of them. I'll link all of them at the video and just link the video straight in or embed the video onto my website. And that speeds things up, but sometimes you don't need to. I mean, I've built sites for things like Milkmen in the UK and stuff, and they've ranked for years and years and years and years. I've never had to do any SEO. Again, Tim, you've just said how many words of content per toggle. It does. I don't know, mate. The way you figure that out is you go to the major city closest to. So if I was doing it in the UK, it'd be London. If I was doing it in Florida, I'd go to Miami. And if I was targeting plumbers, I'd go and search plumber Miami, and I'll see how much content each of those has on their home pages, the top 3 sites. And then what I'll do is I'll meet it somewhere in the middle with mine. So if one's got 2,000, one's got 1,000, one's got 1,500, I'd probably put 1,500 words of content on all of my pages. What you want to do is replicate with your Magic page what people are doing in the best major cities that are ranking, because you're not always going to get the major city that they're getting, because they tend to build a 5 or 6 page website. But what you're going to do is you're going to get all the other major cities. And like I said on a webinar last week, when we first started out doing this, we were all targeting Locksmith Manchester, Manchester Locksmith, Locksmiths in Manchester, 6 keywords, give 3,000 searches a month. And when I did a review of Greater Manchester, which was the same area I wanted to cover anyway, there were 952 locations generating 18,000 searches every single month, and no one else was trying to get them. So I just built loads of HTML pages that pretty much clones of my homepage, but for different areas, and took over the whole area just by creating the HTML pages. MPP just enables you to have it really, really dynamically thingy, but it's the same principle. It really is. If you do what people are doing in the big, difficult areas and use it in all of the smaller areas, you're going to dominate. But again, like I said, don't be going after low-hanging fruit. It just doesn't work. Scott's put a private message. Can you put a link in spell a reseller account? Thanks. I use UK. I don't know how good they're going to be for the States, but that's for Scott. It's called Header Footer. Nice one, Valerie. Insert header and footer, WP beginner. There we go. We're getting a lot of them. Right. When will Elementor pages be done in the theme club? I am using the VC versions, and there is not much content and harder to build. Mike, I've been asking Tony about this today. I wanted to demo this tonight with the Auto Locksmith 1.4 for Elementor. We've got them working. We've seen them working. We've installed them ourselves. I've shown a few guys one with the electrician theme the other day. There's a few little loose ends being tied up now. Once all that's finished, they'll be getting put inside the in the theme club area. The second they do, I'll be doing a webinar pretty much straight away. The day they go in, I'll do a webinar that day. I'll drop whatever I'm doing and do a webinar to show everyone exactly how to use them. I'm super excited because I love Elementor. I can't wait for him to be in there. Header and footer beginners. There we go. Add header and footer. Right. HFCM. I don't know what that means. I'm shooting header and footer code. Insert header and right. So everyone knows about his header and footer code, don't they? Right. Is there any new guys on tonight? Is there anybody that wants me to now sit down and go through any of the more advanced features, show you how some of them work? I can list what we've got, and you can decide if you want me to tell you about any of that stuff. We have got plenty of videos showing you on webinars.net how most of the stuff works, But if anyone wants me to go through anything now, if anyone's got a particular idea they're thinking of doing, then let me know what that idea is, and I'll be able to try and show you live now how you would work that, so that you're not sat there for ages trying to figure it out. Or alternatively, you can private message me through the Facebook group. And as soon as I get a chance, I've got a couple of people I've not got back to you today because I've been super busy, but I'll get back to you as quick as I can with either a video in the group and show you how to do it or whatever. Right, about the button, I am doing call only, paper call. So can I just get rid of the form on VC and just do a button? Yeah, Mike, you don't need a form, mate. You don't need a form on any website. I mean, I use forms because I use Lead Simplify on loads of stuff, but you don't necessarily need it. Yeah, 90% of business, well, I say 90%, depends what it is, but a lot of things come through calls now anyway, because what we're finding is 75% of our traffic is now coming through mobiles. But we're in a lot of the emergency industries, but again, forms are good, but not as good as phones. Dave, the replay is going to be on webinars.net in a few days when I download it and get it stuck up there. There's nothing I need to hide on this webinar because I've not gone through anything thingy, so I'll get it up as quick as I can for you. And there'll be a replay link you'll get an email for, but I know you can't fast forward them, so I will stick it on webinars. Can you use the dynamic link builder in the single niche PBN to link to your city sites? Yes, you can, yeah. I was just trying to think then of a site that I've created that's got them on and I can't bloody remember any. I've actually created sites with this, with that dynamic link builder that I've actually uploaded. Let me just have a look, see if it jogs my memory when I log into me nope, websites. My master FTP's run out. I'd have to reset all that up. I can't remember. I've actually created sites with them and they've started getting indexed and all that, but they don't look brilliant, but they're not terrible. They're just, we're waiting on the themes being built for them. But yeah, you can use them. Dynamic backlink builder is absolutely brilliant, because what a lot of people do in mass page sites, and what I did for years as well, is I only tended to backlink to the bigger areas, Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, or whatever areas it was in like Dallas if you're in Texas, and Miami and places like that. And then I'd let the link juice go via the internal linking through the thing. The dynamic backlink builder enables you now to create backlinks to all of your mass page sites pages really, really, really quick, but it comes from the same location page to the same location. So a PDF that's about Oldham will point to an Oldham page inside your website, and a PDF, and you can spin out everything on them the same way you can with everything in Magic Page. So it works really, really well. I buy GMBs, Tim. I've been offered the methods loads of times to doing it, and I just haven't got the time, mate. So I just buy them. That's just my own laziness, to be honest. But yeah, I just buy them and then I rank them. Hey, Mike, I missed the answer to the Elementor ready for the theme club. Grabbing a coffee. You mean you had me muted, mate? Dave, that is, sorry. Yes, I've been chasing Tony today. I wanted to do them on here today for everybody. There's a few tiny little bits just being finished off, and then they're going to be ready. We've used the electrician one, and we've had it go for a perfect thing. There was a couple of changes, so we've got a perfect version of that. But there's like 40 odd of the Elementor ones getting created to go live. So the team have now got to go back through. I think it's 40 odd. I might be exaggerating there. There might be 30 odd. It sounds like a lot of themes that. I think it's 40 odd. There might be 41 or something. But all of them themes, once they're the team have got to go back and then make the initial change that we asked. But the last version that we did on the electrician version, me and Tony, it worked perfectly. So we're happy with it. But they've obviously got to go and make the last few changes to all of the themes. So it's just a few little tiny loose ends now, and they should be ready to get put on there. As soon as they do, I will stick up a webinar and go through it with everybody so you know how to use them. There's 2 different ways of using them, but I'll show you when that comes. Verbatim. Yep, Mike, of course I can, mate. Was all of that in the training about the PBNs, docs? Right, I tell you where to go, Mike, about the PBNs and the docs. Lake Tahoe. Dave, yeah, no, I know you're getting mad at me for it. I'm sorry, mate. We are working on them as fast as we can to get them out, and they can't be too much longer. We've got the perfect one, and I'll go through that verbatim thing again. Right, so basically, verbatim. If let me go back to the website. Right, let me update that page in case I broke it. Right, so if, for example, we're on a Salford page here, like, yep, and we wanted to add some content in there. So, like, we was adding that overlay, that, what was it called before? Schema code. The schema code contains, did I delete it? Yeah, Xfield product schema. Right, the schema code contains, let's copy it, let's paste it in here. Right, so the schema code, stupid thing, contains, you can't see it on there, can you? Oh, you can't even do this. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I've got a plugin that checks my spelling. Right, so the schema code contains open and closing squiggly brackets. So at the end there, you see that little squiggly bracket there and that little squiggly bracket there. Right, what this normally would look like when you first create the schema, it would have that there and that there. So what happens is, because spin text is enabled on the page everywhere on your Magic page, them two little points there are going to be looked at as spin text. So what it's going to do is it's going to try and close spin text or open spin text. You see this spin text here? It's going to try and open or close it when it sees them. So what we need to do to stop it from doing that, if we don't want them to be treated as spin text, we copy them. You go to create protected content, paste them in, do that, and it just wraps them in that verbatim. And what the verbatim does is it tells the plugin, tells Magic Page, do not treat this little bit of content as spin text. So it won't treat it like it's spin text. So it won't try and spin what's in between it. And because it doesn't try and spin what's in between it, it protects it. So it protects the content. So it's not treated like spin text, and it won't spin. And it'll only spin the bits that are not. So if I wrap this, in fact, that's probably the best thing to do, isn't it? Right, wait there, 1 sec. Let me show you. You go and get the original code again. Copy that. Okay, let me go up here. Do that. Right, let me grab this spun bit of content here, which is the numbers. Copy it. Take it over to create protected content. Paste it in there, and it's going to wrap it in verbatim. So it's going to protect it, so it's not going to spin it. Okay, so now where that is, I'm going to put in this instead. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to take it down here. I'm going to edit that. You don't need to do all this crazy stuff I'm doing at the end here. Right, I'm just going to change that so it looks nicer up here. Paste that in. Right, and now when you see the product schema, what that verbatim has done is told it not to spin. Not to spin the number, only to spin the rating, as you'll see now. I mean, number of ratings. When we go and look at this product schema now, look at this. See that? So it says the value provided for review count must be an integer, meaning a number. And because it's not spun them numbers like it should have done, it's broke the product schema, because that should have been spun. So all I'm doing when I'm creating the spin text is creating the schema is you wrap the areas that shouldn't be classed as you wrap the areas that shouldn't be spun, which is just the JavaScript, the squiggly brackets inside the JavaScript, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Let me know in the comments if it makes sense. Where did all the training about the PBNs, docs, etc? Right, where is all right? Okay, Mike, there's a few places. If you go to MikeMartinMembers.com, go to there and you will get access and go in and look for the training. You can register for my home-based business model training. I've put in basically the structure of my business, of how I created a 50 grand a month business using this. Yes, Scott. Yeah, all the spin techs can be nested. I think I know what you mean by that. Also, Mike, webinars.net. There's all of the webinar replays and plugin.com/training. Got all the basic stuff on there. To be honest, you don't really need to go through all the basic stuff now you've been on this webinar. If you go to webinars.net, about 5 or 6 videos down, you'll see a full walkthrough of all of the features. The only thing it doesn't walk you through is the stuff that's above it, which is like the dynamic backlink builder and stuff like that. But there's a video on there for that. Okay, Mike's asking, so you just had it after. I don't know what that means. Does anybody else need to see any more stuff? Mike, does the schema make sense now, mate? Or do you want me to go through it again for you, pal? Right, has anybody got anything else they want me to go through? Is anyone unsure on any points at all that they want me to whip through while I'm on here live today? If not, I'm going to go to bed. It's 11 o'clock at night here. I try and make this afternoon time for you guys in the States. Right, no more questions. I can see we've only got 29 people left on that one, so everyone's either fell asleep, who's on, or they're just not listening because we've been on here 2 hours. I'm going to try and do another webinar next week. I'm hoping to have the Elementor themes ready by then. If we have, then I'm going to do that webinar for that, probably before, if they go live before then. So anybody who's struggling with anything, but if you do need any help with that, you can always just give me a personal message and I will help you out. I'll help anybody if I can help you with anything. Just fire me a message across. Okay, guys, I can see you have all just woke up then because everyone's messaging at the same time. Right, I'm going to end the webinar, guys. Thank you very much, especially the 29 that stayed on till for 2 hours. Anything you need, give me a shout. I'm off to bed. See you all later. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.